I don't really know how to start this video, but I am so gosh darn excited for this. I I heard postmortem. I didn't listen to Clay Golem because I didn't want to spoil it. This is something I'm actually so excited for. I'm praying that I don't set my expectations too high. I really want this to be good. So nothing we can do but just get right into it. Slowly but surely. First track. Ah. That was a nice intro. So far, I don't know what this album's gonna be about. The cover art seems to be some sort of almost like angelic knight, almost or maybe like it died chasing glory or something. I don't know, but I think that worked. I have heard this next track, Postmortem. I think it's a damn slapper. I actually really like it a lot. But I'm gonna give that last track. I'm gonna give that last track a 7. Um, I feel like it was just building up to Postmortem, but when I think about the sound of Postmortem, it doesn't really make sense. Let me just re-listen. Maybe, I don't know. It did just feel like it was kept building and building and building with no real release. Next track, Postmortem. That last section reminds me of something I'd do in FL Studio when I'm trying to find a floor. Yeah, that song, absolute banger. That's definitely a 9 out of 10. That song is just so well produced. I love the suspended piano keys. Or I guess it's like a Rode piano or an E piano. I just love the sound of that. That's what I like about the ThayerPeriod. Like all these melodies are just so unique. Yeah. All right, next track, Bloodlet. Brace my imperfections, not to save the calculations. Try to find the little joys, but now they're gone. Try to follow my self-hatred into something more productive, but when numbers go away, I'm dead and gone. Let the bloodlet, let the bloodlet, let the bloodlet. Wow, that song was also pretty damn good. The only thing I didn't like is that little end section. I thought the bass was just a bit too overbearing, which I get is probably the point. With the vocals only mixed into one ear and the overbearing bass, I don't really think it worked that well together. I think that bass would have been, or the 808s would have been really nice with some other drums, maybe hi-hats and stuff. I thought that, and maybe once again a resolution to that song, because I feel like there was a lot of building and it did try and give a release, but it honestly ended up feeling more empty and left me wanting more than actually giving me that release. I think that song was another 7, but honestly still pretty good. Next track, Clay Golem. Misshapen column made of clay, his limbs are string. Oh, it consumes me like I pop ginger tabs. So much more than consumes me. Oh, it consumes me. So far, this album has been more experimental. It's not as melody drums as the last one, which hey, I kind of I don't mind it. I've been missing a few 808s and snares and hi-hats, I've been missing it a bit, so I'm hoping maybe there's some more on this album, but if not, I'm still fuck with this. Clay Golem, that was easy 8.5 out of 10. Next track, I Guess I Am Truly Alone. Ooh. There they are. I wasn't fucking with that track. Production was it like kind of stood out as like probably one of the lowest points on the project so far. I think the 808s were they were hitting a bit too hard. I know I asked for 808s and hi-hats and drums and it delivered, and I just didn't really like it. I think that the everything was honestly just too much. Like the 808s were clipping, and it sounded like it was sidechained to the vocals, and it honestly was a little bit it was just too much. It gave me I was starting to dissociate listening to it because I'm trying to like listen to the lyrics. Like I'm reading them on Genius right now. They're like popping in and out, and I just don't really think it was working. I think that track was a 5 out of 10. Next track, when it gets cold, when it gets dark out. My bad. I hate when it's dark out. I hate when the sun goes down and the world shuts off and the walls they shrink to me. Whoa. So I kind of have the same gripes with the last one. The bass was just too much. That sub bass was literally distorted to all hell. I liked it a little more. Like I don't know. I feel like there was more of a vibe with the last one. Like I don't know how to explain it, but like I think what I'm actually trying to say is I think the last one was more ambitious. This one just kind of feels like it's fallen flat. Like this one is trying to be bigger than it is without actually like just like putting in the work, I guess. Like there's a lot of really cool ideas. I feel like the other one had like Would You Trade Your Hands for Wings had more of a direction it was going into. This one just kind of feels like a little bit unfinished. For that reason, I feel like half the songs are just not really hitting the same. This track, I think, was a 6 out of 10. I think it was marginally better than the last. Like I said, still same gripes. I just don't think that it's going anywhere. None of the songs, they feel stagnant for about the whole time. Anyways, next track, Mourn. I don't know about that acoustic outro, but the rest of the track, I didn't mind that much actually. I really, really just can't pin what's missing from this. The last album, I think, did everything so well. I just think this is missing. It's just empty. I don't know how to put it. I think that track was a 6.5 out of 10. Next track, War Room. Diagrams when you fall for nothing, so it falls flat off. So I feel so hollow, empty man, procrastinating for hours, just fucking off for no reason, cruising the highways, looking for something. I need to get away, just a little getaway. Tired of getting drugged through the mud. I need to get away. I really like that one. I really did. I was like really, really following along with that one, and I was just like, That track was an 8 out of 10. I think that track, huge step up. I think that's how like I really just like I can't even get the words out. I just don't know what it is that this whole album is missing. That track had it. Postmortem had it. Clay Golem had it. It just feels like there's more behind the tracks, more oomph behind the tracks. What it's missing is like the vibe. I think the vibe on the 3 tracks I mentioned, Clay Golem, Postmortem, and War Room, are unbelievably, like, just super solid. That track, War Room, by the way, has grown on me a lot. I actually, like, I obsessed with that track. I'm gonna bump that score up to like a 9.5, if not a 10. I think it's probably one of the better produced ones. Like that, those piano keys are just. All right, next track, Chase Enclosure. I stand in my grave and I wait for things to change, and I couldn't better me. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed. I feel like I've maybe had my expectations a bit too high for this album. I feel bad because, you know, like, he watched my last video. Like, he watched the first video on would you trade your hands for wings. He watched it, he commented, like, literally just, like, hours before this dropped. And then now I'm listening to this, and honestly, I'm a little disappointed. I was expecting more. I really was. I think that song was like a 6.5. I just don't think it was really doing much. Next track, Acceptance. At the outro of this album. If you're watching this, Thayer, is that Valhalla Supermassive? Because that's what it sounded like. Last track, I think it's just another 6. I like the little cat outro though. That brings it up a million points because cat. So I originally gave it a 58 after my review. That wasn't taking into account my second listen. After my second listen, it grew on me quite a bit. I'm going to bump it up to a 68. I still think it's missing a lot, and I would much rather listen to Would You Trade Your Hands for Wings. I'm just a bit disappointed. I was expecting a lot more.